everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be looking at Pythagoras Theorem and we'll be working through one exam question. If you're new to this channel, please make sure you like and subscribe. And for those of you who've been here before, welcome back. With that said, let's dive right into today's lesson. Before we go ahead, you should note that Pythagoras Theorem is only applicable to find the sides of a triangle in a right angle triangle. If we were to consider our angle at the base of the triangle, then our side B would be known as the opposite. Our A, which is at the bottom of our angle, would be adjacent, and the longest side would be known as the hypotenuse. Now that we know the sides of our triangle, we'll now go into our formula. The formula that we'll be using is that sides A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. And C is our hypotenuse. Therefore, the square of our two sides A and B is equal to the square of our hypotenuse. If we would like to find for C, or a length for C, then that formula would be C is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared. If we would now like to make A the subject of the formula, find the length of A, then we will rewrite our formula and then we would need to make A the subject of the formula. So we have A squared would be equal to C squared minus B squared. And A would now equal to the square root of C squared minus B squared. And if we would like to find the value or the length of B, then rewriting our formula once again, we have A squared plus B squared is equal to C squared. Therefore, B squared would equal to C squared minus A squared. And B will now equal to the square root of C squared, take away A squared. And now we have the value of A, B, and C. We will now solve an exam question. It says here is a quadrilateral ABCD and angle BAD is equal to 90 degrees and angle BCD is equal to 90 degrees as well. Length AB is equal to 9.8 centimeters, AD is equal to 3.6 centimeters and BC is equal to 8.4 centimeters. And we're asked to calculate the length of DC. Therefore, our unknown DC, we label it as X. We would first need to extract our two triangles in order to find the first value of BD because we don't have a length for that, and then we'll find our DC. Our first triangle, we have our length as 9.8 on top, then we have 3.6 as the adjacent, and then we have our hypotenuse, which is the longest length, is X. From our formula that we've described previously, we know that C is equal to square root of A squared plus B squared. So substituting our values, we have the square root of 3.6 squared plus 9.8 squared, and solving that, we have C is equal to 10.44 centimeters. Always write your units. Don't ever forget writing your units, okay? Now that we find our BD value, we can now solve for X because we only have one unknown value left in our second triangle. So we're going to draw our triangle. We have X at the base. Then we have our hypotenuse, which is the length that we just found, as 10.44 centimeters. And then we have our other length as 8.4 centimeters. And both of the triangles are right angle triangles. So let's just input that right angle triangle and also on the previous triangle that we drew. Sorry about that. So now we need to find for X. And X, we'll consider that as the adjacent, which is A. From our previous formula, once again, we know that A is equal to the square root of C squared minus B squared. Substituting our values for C and B, we have A is equal to 10.44 squared minus 8.4 squared. Simplifying that, we will have A is equal to 6.2 centimeters. And that is our value for X. So let's substitute, let's write our value for X. So X is equal to 6.2 centimeters. And that is how you solve this question. You just take it one step at a time, solve for the unknowns, and you'll find your value for X. And that's the end of today's session. I hope you've learned something today. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. And for now, thank you and see you next time. Bye.